You didn't click this by accident. And I know that sounds like one of those cheesy lines everyone says to be mysterious, but damn, look at where you are right now. Scrolling, searching, not even for something specific, just something that hits, something that actually makes sense of all this noise in your head. And then boom, this video pops up. And maybe part of you doesn't even know why you clicked. But the other part, oh, it knows exactly why. Because sometimes life doesn't throw you a big sign. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And this is one of those whispers. It's that moment when life nudges you and says, hey, you ready yet? Not ready in the put your shoes on and go chase your dreams way. Nah, I mean like, ready to finally face the stuff you've been avoiding. Ready to stop pretending you don't care. Ready to stop lying to yourself just to keep the peace. Because real talk, that version of you, the one who's been holding it together for so long, they're tired. You can only scroll past your own thoughts for so long before they catch up. And I know, man, it's easier to distract yourself than to sit in the discomfort. It's easier to keep saying, I'm fine, than to admit you're not even sure who you are anymore. But let's be honest, that's exactly why you're here, isn't it? Something inside you is waking up. Not loud, not dramatic, just that quiet voice saying, this doesn't feel right anymore. And you know what? You're not crazy for feeling that. You're not broken. You're just finally paying attention. Let's talk about that weird in-between phase. You know what I'm talking about, where you're not fully lost, but not really found either. You wake up, do the same stuff, see the same faces, scroll the same feeds, but deep down, you feel like a ghost in your own life. And people around you, they don't notice. Because you laugh when you're supposed to. You work, you function, you play the game. But inside, there's this constant low-level noise, like a question you don't have words for yet. Something like, is this really it? It's not burnout. It's not sadness. It's just numb. Like you're waiting for life to finally mean something. And here's the part. Nobody tells you that feeling, that uncomfortable nothingness. It's not the end. It's the beginning. It means your soul is done with autopilot, done with playing roles just to keep people happy, done with chasing things that don't freaking matter just because the world told you to. And maybe that's why you've been feeling off lately. Not because something's wrong, but because something's trying to wake up inside you. But here's the thing. You can't just force it open. You can't hack it, shortcut it, or journal your way through it in a weekend. It doesn't work like that. You have to let it unfold. And that's the part that's the hardest, because waiting for truth to rise feels like watching paint dry in the middle of a thunderstorm. Everything in you wants to rush it, but the truth waits until you're quiet enough to hear it. So if everything feels foggy, flat, or heavy lately, that's not failure. That's not weakness. That's life doing surgery on your soul, quietly, in the background. Here's the messed up part. When people talk about awakening or finding yourself, you'd think it's this dramatic, magical moment, like some lightning bolt of clarity or a dream that shows you who you are. But no, man, that's not how it happens. Most of the time, it looks like boredom. It looks like sitting in your room, scrolling through stuff that used to entertain you, and now it all feels dull, fake, loud, pointless. It looks like looking at your own reflection one morning and just thinking, damn, I don't even know who I am anymore. You don't scream, you don't cry, you just sit there, quiet, empty, aware. There was this girl I once knew, smart as hell, always surrounded by people, had a job most would kill for. But one day, she quit everything, just dipped. And when I asked her why, she just said, I woke up and realized I've been building a life for a version of me that never actually existed. That line hit me like a truck, because how many of us are doing that exact thing? Working a job we don't care about, dating people we're not even present with, posting stuff online to prove something to people who wouldn't even notice if we disappeared tomorrow. It's wild. But see, when that awareness kicks in, it doesn't come with a user manual. It just shows up, burns everything fake to the ground and whispers, now what? And you know what? That question, now what? That's the first real question you've probably asked in years. You finally stop trying to fix everything outside of you, and for once you start listening inside. The problem is, No one claps when you start doing this inner work. There's no medal, no applause, just silence. And silence is freaking uncomfortable when you've been noise addicted your whole life. But here's the plot twist. Silence is where the real you starts speaking up. And once that voice starts showing up, it doesn't shut up. It starts asking things like, why do you care what they think? Who told you this was success? Who are you trying to impress? And suddenly, the version of you that played small, people-pleased, stayed silent just to keep the peace, starts to feel unbearable to wear. Once you start seeing it, you can't unsee it. Like for real, the moment you catch your reflection in the middle of pretending, and for the first time you go, yo, this ain't me. That moment is wild, and it's not even loud either. It's not some dramatic breakdown. It's subtle, but it changes everything. Because now every time you laugh at something fake, you feel it. Every time you agree just to avoid conflict, it feels like you're betraying something inside. Every time you go along with what used to be normal, it just doesn't sit right anymore. And here's the real trip. No one around you notices. They still think you're playing the same game. They don't know that the version of you they used to know is slowly disintegrating. You start saying no more. You start getting quiet in places you used to talk nonstop. You pull away from certain conversations, not because you're better, but because you literally can't fake it anymore. It's not you trying to be spiritual. It's not you trying to be deep. It's just you trying to be honest. And honesty, man, it costs you. You lose comfort. You lose connections. Sometimes you even lose the identity that kept you functioning all these years. But damn, you gain yourself. You start realizing, I don't need everyone to get it. I don't need everyone to agree. I just need to stop living in a version of reality that was never mine. That's when the shift starts happening. Not because you forced it, but because life stopped letting you numb it. And I swear, those quiet nights where you stare at the ceiling feeling like you're breaking apart, they're not breaking you. They're reshaping you. The old self isn't dying because you're lost. It's dying because you're finally getting found. And the price for truth? It's everything that was built on a lie. But you know what? That trade, it's worth it. You ever just walk into a room full of people and suddenly feel like a ghost? Like you're physically there, but mentally, emotionally, you're somewhere else entirely. And it's not because you're broken. It's not because something's wrong with you. It's because you've started seeing through everything. Conversations feel plastic. The energy feels off. People talk like they're reading from scripts they didn't even write. And you're just standing there like, is anyone else feeling this? But no one says it. No one blinks. Everyone's playing their role, laughing at the joke they don't find funny, agreeing with the opinion they don't even believe in, clapping for something they'd never even notice if it wasn't trending. And you're over here like, damn, I can't go back to that. See, that's the shift no one warns you about. The moment you start waking up, it's not all peace and crystals and good vibes. Nah, it's confusion. It's discomfort. It's being in a world that still sleeps while you're trying to figure out why your eyes won't close anymore. And yeah, you'll start to feel disconnected. But don't confuse that with loneliness, because there's a difference between being alone and being misaligned. You're not losing people. You're just stepping out of stories that were never yours. You're not becoming distant. You're becoming real. And real doesn't fit in fake spaces anymore. It just doesn't. This is where you stop trying to explain yourself. You stop shrinking to fit. You stop apologizing for noticing what others pretend not to see. You start owning it, not in some loud, arrogant way, but in that quiet, unshakable way like, yeah, I see it now. And I'm not sorry for that. And when that shift happens, your entire life starts reorganizing itself. You don't even need to force it. Things just start falling away. People, places, distractions, illusions, one by one. And what's left? You. Just you. Not the version they liked, not the mask you wore, not the echo of who you were trying to be. Just the raw, messy, honest version of you. The one that doesn't need to perform anymore. The one that doesn't need to be understood to be real. And that's when the real journey actually begins. You know what's wild? For the longest time, you thought you needed to chase something, chase clarity, chase peace, chase purpose. Like if you just read one more book, followed one more guru, watched one more life-changing video, you'd finally get it. But here's the twist no one talks about. You were never meant to chase any of that, because chasing is just another way of saying you're not enough yet. And that's the biggest lie. You've been conditioned to think you're some unfinished project, that you're always missing something, that you always need to be fixed or improved or upgraded. But maybe, just maybe, you were never missing anything. Maybe the noise was just so damn loud you couldn't hear what was already inside of you. And then one day, you stop. You stop running. You stop reaching. You stop freaking begging the world to see you, choose you, validate you. And there's silence. But it's not empty. It's full of the stuff you kept skipping over. The truth that always whispered, you've already got it. Just sit still long enough to remember. That's the moment everything flips. You're no longer trying to become someone. You're finally learning to be who you were before the world told you who you should be. And damn, that's powerful. Because now you're not operating out of desperation. You're moving from awareness. You're not looking for the light. You're realizing you are the freaking light. And once you get that, you stop needing the world to hand you permission slips just to exist. You walk into every room like, yeah, I'm not here to fit in anymore. I'm here to freaking wake up. Look, if you're still watching this, it's not by chance. You didn't stumble on this video. You didn't accidentally make it this far. You were meant to hear this because right now, something inside you is finally starting to wake the hell up. Not the version of you that's been playing nice and checking boxes, keeping quiet just to be liked. Not the version that keeps second-guessing every move. The real you, the one that's been buried under all the overthinking, the shame, the pressure to be someone else. And now you're starting to feel it, huh? That shift, that quiet voice whispering, you're not lost, you're remembering. And here's the beautiful part. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You're not broken. You were never broken. You were just disconnected from yourself. And the second you stop chasing and start trusting, everything starts clicking into place. So here's what you do now. Sit with it. Let this message breathe through you. Don't rush to fix anything. Just feel what's true. Rewatch this if you need to. Seriously, the stuff that didn't hit the first time might hit like a train on the second. Drop a comment, just one word, one that captures where you are right now. Your word might be the exact thing someone else needs to see. And if this hit somewhere deep, if it felt like this was made for you, then yeah, it probably was. So don't just watch and scroll away. Subscribe, hit that bell, and stay with this energy. Because the next video we drop, it's going to take this even further. And if you're really ready, click the pinned comment. It's there for a reason. You didn't find this by accident. There's a reason. See you there.